You texted someone, your text was delivered, there was double tick, there was a blue tick, and you know that the text has been checked, you know that the text has reached the other person, but there was no response. This is the situation of ghosting, my friend. You are being ghosted by the other person. I know it is one of the cruelest thing that one can do to some person, some human being, and I would not encourage you to do the same to the other person because just because someone did that to you. Hi everyone, welcome back to your channel once again. This is going to be yet another episode of Mindful Musings with Manu, which is my podcast जहाँ पे मैं अपनी learning share करती हूँ, my self reflections, my thoughts and my opinions about life and everything in between. So let's begin and talk about ghosting. And before we begin, I'd like to tell you one thing that I started this channel about a year ago, जहाँ पे मैं college life की guidance share कर रही थी, जो भी मैंने सीखा, everything in between. So you can scroll down and you can check out that content. Maybe it will be of use to you. So let us dive into this video and talk about ghosting. What is ghosting? Why people are ghosting each other? And why is it so trending these days? So let us try to understand ghosting first of all. तो ghosting एक ऐसी situation है where the other person becomes a ghost. नहीं, actual वाला ghost नहीं. Basically, they disappear out of your life. They had a very good communication with you, conversation with you, and just abruptly they have disappeared and they are no longer interested in the same conversation and they are no longer interested in you if we see it like this. So basically, people say that people will only host you when they're busy or perhaps they have some other priorities. I think it has become a trend these days because every single person is hosting the other person because it has become a loop. जहाँ पे if you host someone, the other person will start ghosting someone else. So it just goes on, and the only way we can stop it by stop doing this and start it by yourself first of all. Stop ghosting the other person. The busiest people in the world will get back to you at the earliest, and if they cannot, they will text you immediately that I am doing some work or I am stuck somewhere. They do not take a month or a week to get back to you. If they want, they will get back to you immediately. They will tell you the reason if they are not available because they respect time, they respect the efforts of the other person, and if they respect their time, that's why people respect their time. No one will respect your time if you do not respect their time at all. So before promoting this culture, before encouraging this ghosting culture, I would recommend you, I would highly recommend you to encourage texting back, encourage reaching out to people, because someone is reaching out and you're not responding, and someday you will reach out and the other person will not respond. I hope it was understandable to you. There's one criteria left, which is ghosting in terms of relationships. And I would just like to say one thing in this case, that the person who ghosted you or who is ghosting you in a relationship when you guys are committed, it is the worst thing that he can ever do or she can ever do. It's not something that I would encourage, and it is not something that you should tolerate at all. Do not get back to such people if they reach out to you after a week or a month and they say that, hey, I was kind of busy and let's just talk talk about it, and I was so busy and I'm so sorry about it. Don't take their apologies. Just block them. Get rid of them. It's the opportunity for you to get rid of such people because nobody is busy, and if you are a priority, that person would not do that to you at all. And let me make it very clear with you guys, it is not just happening in the case of relationships or if you are just dating some other person. It is happening everywhere. Perhaps you were having a very casual conversation with someone, the conversation was going smoothly and everything was, you guys were talking about things, you were tapping and you were very excited about it and you were just about to tell something, and the minute you were about to tell someone something, the other person went offline. Maybe he had some priorities, other priorities, it can be a possibility, but that person did not get back to you at any given time. And that is, my friend, that is ghosting because they had some other priorities. And as soon as you understand this fact, you will be happier in your life. The only way to, I think, to get rid of ghosting and to not do it to someone else, is to know if you are a priority to someone else or not. Because I know people who are ghosting people just because they are pretending that they are busy. But nobody is busy. No one is busy and everyone is busy. It's all about priorities. And ghosting, this has become a culture, and it will become a culture where everyone will start ghosting each other, and it is not at all appreciated. I wanted to share it because I think during the final year of my college, I became that person. I started ghosting. I'll see the notifications and I'll check that notification and I'll think that maybe I'll get back later. And then days would pass, months would pass, and then I would feel guilty for getting back to the person, my friend, or whosoever it is. So I think this situation should be dealt with immediately, and you should not at all encourage this culture of hosting. It's up to you. If you stop doing this to the other person, they will stop doing it immediately. Mostly because we try to pretend that we are very busy and we are doing a lot of work and all that. That's why we try to do it with other person, maybe because they are not our priority. But at the same time, we need to realize that in this digital era, we are only connected by texts, by social media, and by all these means. If you do not get back to people, there's no connection. You're not building a connection. You are just temporarily trying to stay in touch with people. Nobody would like to stay in touch with you just because you're trying to stay in touch. A simple text takes around 5 seconds to 10 seconds, and even if it takes a minute, I think it's not a bad thing if you are giving the conclusion to a conversation. You are not busy, you are just pretending that you are busy. So just stop doing this, because no one is a fool. Everyone understands that if a text has reached the other person, and if the text has been delivered, it has been read already. This should not happen to any single person. And if you are encouraging this, then let me just tell you this thing, that you are destroying someone's emotional and mental well being, and it is not appreciated at all in any given circumstances. Just because you're feeling that maybe you will hurt that person, you are hurting them already. Just try to be frank and try to be honest with the other person and tell them that I won't be able to, take this any longer. Be frank, be honest. It's better than ghosting, because a straightforward no is far better than a sugar coated yes. That's it in today's video, and I hope you learned something. I hope to see you in the next video. Please don't ghost someone, and I wish and I hope that you don't get ghosted by anyone. I'll see you next time. Till then, take care of yourself and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you like the video. Bye bye.